Let's bring the story of a home to your convenience. Fabian almost lost his home for some reason that we can learn from. Oluchi is Fabian's wife and also a career woman who prioritizes her job more than her home. So can we call her a successful woman? She came back home very late to find her husband sleeping on the couch while waiting for her. Fabian seems to be an understanding husband, though. But not all men will accept the fact that his wife's boss still calls her very late at night for whatever reason. It was Saturday morning. Fabian woke up to see his wife already dressed up for work. Even though he tried to complain, what difference would it have made? He already knows how important her career is to her. You don't expect your husband to be a young, handsome, and successful man without finding women all over him. Emma is Fabian's colleague at work, and she will do anything to get him. It's left for any woman to do everything within her power to keep her husband. How bad can this be now, as Fabian came home to see his house almost on fire, only to find his wife on a call conversation with her work colleague? He wasn't happy with his wife's lackadaisical attitude. Let's just hope that things don't get worse than this. Fabian spends his leisure time with his friend Dennis. As his wife is barely seen around as a companion, Fabian thinks his wife is cheating on him, which is okay for every man to think likewise. And as a good friend, he advised Fabian not to jump into conclusions. Things haven't been easy with Fabian at the office as Emma kept stalking him. The truth is, how many men can withstand such temptation, especially with his wife not giving him the attention he needed? Fabian kept warning her, but she wouldn't stop until she got what she wanted. Perhaps things are beginning to work out for these wonderful couples, and it's also good to hear that their anniversary is around the corner. So they decided to go on a romantic dinner to make a memorable one. Fabian seems to be the one here trying to make things work out. He just called to make a reservation for two, and also a remarkable night together. He couldn't wait until the evening as he kept sending her messages like it was their first date. Oluchi got a call from her boss while she was still at the office that there was an important meeting scheduled for the evening after she pleaded with him earlier that she will be having dinner with husband. She had no choice as she called her husband to let him know that she would be coming late. Fabian, who is a caring man, understood the nature of her job as he waited for her all night. She was not even picking her calls. You shouldn't blame him now if he accuses her of cheating as he angrily left. Oluchi wasn't even remorseful with what she had done after keeping him waiting because she knows that she is sincere, but what about how her husband feels? This is where many people get it wrong in their relationship. You can't resist the devil because he will always come back. Fabian was already getting tired of her advances, but Emma wouldn't mind going naked to make a point this time. The helpless man was already losing his mind. Emma literally had a mission to break Oluchi's home, as she sent her nude pictures to Fabian after the sudden call that night. She knew that he was already giving in. It was only a matter of time. Fabian tried to convince her to find a better man outside, but her mind was already made up. Oluchi knew that she was wrong and asked for his forgiveness. This is what every good man expects from his wife whenever she is wrong to make things better again. This time, she wanted them to have dinner. Fabian had always wanted this when her phone rang while she went out to pick her call. But why must she go out to pick her calls? Fabian seems to be one of the few understanding men left in the world, and what was the call about? Fabian was retiring for the day when Emma came again. She wanted a lift, and Fabian seems to become helpless day by day. That night, Fabian wanted to get something from his laptop bag to find Emma's undies. Things like this could eventually change the entire story of a happy home, but Emma doesn't care. But how did it happen? Fabian forgot his phone at the office and had to go get it when she put it in his bag. This lady was really going insane. It was dinner night for Oluchi and her husband, but surprisingly, she had to close a deal for her company with a client, Pedro. But Pedro wanted something else. She must sleep with him if he must do business with her company. Oluchi is a decent lady and wouldn't cheat on her husband. But did she also forget the dinner date with her husband? Fabian kept waiting, hoping that she would show up. Coincidentally, Emma saw them and took pictures. She couldn't wait to show her crush what has been happening right behind him. This was the height of it. He couldn't bear it anymore for what he saw right in his bedroom. So tell me, would you fault a man for cheating? Emma has finally gotten what she wanted even when he wasn't happy with what he had done, but will it stop here? I don't think so. Once it has entered, it has entered. Oluchi came back as usual, stressed from her demanding job. Her husband doesn't care anymore because men are wired to give their most attention to the one thing that makes him happy. Oluchi's boss was not happy with the last meeting she had with Mr. Pedro. He wants her to give him whatever he wants to get the contract. She will rather quit her job than give in to their demands. Now she has lost her job and her home seemingly by failing to appropriate her time as a wife and as a career woman. She wants things to get back to normal. What most women don't understand is that raising their voice on their man to prove a point makes the situation worse. Fabian was already enjoying the attention he needed as the situation was already getting intense. He told Dennis that his wife-to-be is pregnant. Dennis wants to see this lady who had captured his friend's heart. He just hopes that his friend is doing the right thing. The wheel has now turned its full circle. Oluchi now seems to be a housewife, as Fabian now stays out 3 days without returning home. Fabian already had his mind made up. He wants a divorce and wanted to hear what his friend has to say. Dennis thinks it's a bad idea, but he can't change a mind that was already made up. Oluchi went almost insane when he told her. She forced him into talking of his sudden hate towards her. Fabian wanted an explanation of the contraception he found in the bedroom at the night of their dinner when all he ever wanted was to become a father. At this point, she knew that she had failed not just as a wife but as a virtuous woman. She did all these because of her career. The company she worked for wouldn't allow pregnant women to get promotions, so she had no choice. But should that be a good reason? Fabian was already done with the marriage. Fabian now has a new home in Emma's house. And since they were expecting a child, Emma and the unborn baby was his priority. Emma wants to go visit her mother for 4 days. He had no option than to allow her to go see his soon-to-be mother-in-law. Fabian found himself back in the company of his friend as his lover went on a vacation, only to find her with another man, kissing and hugging. He was dumbfounded but made no moves. I mean, what man fights over a woman in public? Fabian was patient enough to wait until her arrival. Emma was taken by surprise. She has been cheating after all the obsession and promises. Fabian was clever enough to ask her if she was truly pregnant. And at this point, every guilty person is his own hangman. She confessed that she had lied to him. Now, what will you do as a man in Fabian's shoes? Going back to your wife is better because no man can accept a cheating woman. Oluchi had already given up on her marriage when he came in. She knew it was all her fault for failing to perform her duty as a wife. At this point, it was God's intervention to have exposed the devil and his lies before it ends in regrets. Thanks for watching. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we are bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, you can also subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.